The AfroPrenuer podcast, a podcast for African entrepreneurs, presents inspiring, innovative, and disruptive entrepreneurs from Africa as they share their lessons, insights, and learnings from their unique entrepreneurial ventures. I'll be your host. My name is Ogweno Stephen. Let's roll.
Welcome to another episode of the AfroPrenuer podcast, where we host incredible entrepreneurs, incredible individuals, incredible leaders in the business space. And today is a good day. It's a Sunday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and we're joined by quite an incredible guest today. And so, without further ado, introduce yourself to us. Give us a bit of introduction. What do you do, who you are, and where you come from?
Awesome. My name is MUTHONI Omukhango, and I want to say I'm in full-time ministry, and I work for a ministry called Christian Literature Communications, CLC Kenya, which has the mandate to bring people to faith and maturity in Christ Jesus. So we are preaching the gospel, but we are using Christian literature. So we do writing classes, we do publishing, we do print on demand, we do marketing and visibility for authors. And recently, in 2020, we started the African Christian Authors Book Award, which is aimed at promoting and recognizing and celebrating Christian authors in Africa. So that's what we do.
Yeah, interesting that we're talking about bringing people to Christ, and we're using books to be able to do that. So that's a very good summary of what you do. You sort of help people like me who are authors as well to publish their books, distribute, market, get it to the people as well. So yeah, interesting. So your work at the farm, where you do all of this work, how did you get into that work? Like, what was your journey to get into the work of literally selling books?
It's actually more than selling books, because we are building a reading culture in Africa. We've said that Africans don't read. We are defying that narrative. They said if you want to hide something, a secret, an innovation from an African, hide it in a book. So we are defying that. So we are actually contributing. I know there are other people doing it, but we are contributing to building a reading culture in Africa. How I joined, very interesting. So I have been trained in finance and banking, and all I wanted is just to sit at the teller place in a bank and count your money and give you your money. That's all I wanted in my mind. Going through university, I could just see that. So I applied for jobs after campus. It's like a leaflets, just go giving everywhere. A friend will print for me like this bunch of CVs and
you'll be distributing.
And I didn't get a job at the bank. So I said, because I thought I knew what I wanted, I said I will wait. So I stayed for so long, with so many months without a job, because I just wanted to work in a bank. So a friend of mine had just gotten, I was in Bible school at that time. So a friend of mine from Bible school, who later became my husband, but that's another story for another day.
That's a good friend,
So he had just started working at CLC Kenya as a warehouse in church. We were still doing Bible school. We had a year to go. And so when he got there, he was told there is a job for a sales and marketing person. I'm not going to do sales and marketing. So he had talked to the boss and said, this person can do this job. So he kept on calling me. So he tells the Mdosi used to be called the GM. I would tell the GM, okay, she will come tomorrow. She will come on Friday. Then he would call me and tell me, why don't you just come and see? But I'm just thinking, I don't want a sales and marketing job. So at one point he was like, okay, won't you come for the interview for my sake? Because I want, it's my want. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to honor my friend. So I went, I didn't have a CV because I wanted to fail. I didn't want to get the job.
This is not for me.
No, I'm a banker. I want to work in a bank. So
but at least let me just turn up.
yes, for him, for my friend, because it was like, I've really talked so much about you. Just come and honor my want. So I went for the interview, which lasted 5 minutes. I asked me what I do, just the normal questions. Our former boss is called Edith, an amazing lady. So after like 5-10 minutes, we were done with the interview. Yes, but because I didn't want the job, I was not tensed. I was myself because I don't want to work in this place. So after 10 minutes, then we started talking other things. We talked about family, about marriage. We talked about so many things. We talked for 3 hours.
5-minute interview, 3 hours.
3 hours
other
talking,
conversation.
other conversation. So I'm like, oh, nice. It was nice chatting with you. So people are wondering, that interview for 3 hours, that's too long. So when I come out, she escorts me towards the door. Then she tells me, so when can you start? I was like, I don't want to start.
You're like,
No.
This is not what I planned for.
No. So that was on a Thursday. So she was like, let me give you Friday to plan yourself. Then you can start on Monday. I was like, man. Then I thought, since I didn't have a job, let me let me just show up. Then when Equity or somebody else, Faulu or Barclays, when they call me, I have to say I have to go to this other job. That's 2009.
That's a long time.
So it's been 12 years. I'm still waiting for the bank
to send you the invite
to call me. But anyway, after some time, I realized that I was in love with books. I was in love with the mandate, and I realized that God had led me to what He wanted me to do. I moved from sales and marketing to sales and marketing manager, then to business development manager, to head of publishing. And now I'm the national director.
And now to head of the organization.
But 12 years later.
Yeah, 12 years later.
Yes.
Yeah, which speaks to something that I'll probably ask next. You see, as young entrepreneurs, they have the thing of, I want to get in today and then tomorrow I want to be already at the top there. So what would you have to comment on that, seeing that you've been 12 good years before getting to the top?
I think this life is about process. Most of the people who get to the top too quickly, you skip so many processes that you're not able to connect with other people. When I tell someone to go and, we don't even have a department now, sales and marketing, but all the jobs someone can do in the organization where I am leading, I've actually done. So when I tell you go to town, go and do this and this, is something that I have done.
You know.
I can empathize with you. I can relate to what you're doing. And I think that journey, it's so important that if you skip it, then you find you can be a very selfish boss or selfish leader. You'd want, I've cleaned the toilet for our organization, I've mopped the floor, I've wiped books, I have done. So when people come, I'm able to be compassionate with what they are doing. So I think for me, I appreciate the process, which is something that I'm also advocating for young people. We've had young people, I'm interviewing a young person, and he was a gentleman, and I asked him, so what would you really want to do? They came in as a media person. What would you really want to do? Then they tell me, I want your seat. I was like, I can give you your seat, but do you have what it takes from where you're starting to my seat? It's been a process.
It's a long marathon.
Yeah, so you can't join in today and then in 6 months you want to be at the top of the organization. So there's the process, and the process is what makes you who you are. You get lessons, you get strengthened, you make mistakes.
Of course.
You learn from those mistakes. So the process is more critical than even the position.
Interesting. So, what would you say, especially now that you're at the very top and even just coming and going through those stages, what were some of the habits and routines that then helped you to sort of move upwards in the work that you do?
One, I'm a very spiritual person, so hearing the voice of God is very critical. So of course I saying my friend turned husband got me there. So we got married in the organization where we are working, and would come very early in the morning. So I think we used to report at 8. So we'd be there at 7. And we would pray for the work that we are doing. We'll pray for our boss. We'll pray for other staff. We'll pray for people, God to bring the right people. And so the place of prayer, because it's from that place you're able to hear the voice of God. And I have so many testimonies of how God would tell me, go to this place, or I just have that feeling in my heart, go to that place, don't go to this other place. So one time, let me tell you one.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what's one of those ones?
I have so many of them. I should write a book. So, oh, and I forgot to say I'm an author of 4 books, so I'll tell you that.
Yes, we'll come to that.
Yeah, so I remember there's this client, that organization that my boss had really tried to. We joined the organization after 1 year after it was founded. So in Kenya, so CLC is in about 44 countries. So in Kenya, it was started in 2007. So it started in 2008. We joined in 2009. So there's this organization she had really wanted to get into partnership with. So when I came to, they had really tried, it wasn't working. So one time I told her, I'm going to this and this organization, and she was like, this one's
not happening.
It won't happen. So I was like, but when I was praying, that's the direction I felt. She was like, you know what, you have my blessings. I'm just telling you, we have tried. Do you know, when I landed like this at community, when I landed like this, I just found when the boss had also, like, we landed at the same time. Like, have you been helped? I'm like, no, I've not been helped. You have to be quick on your feet. So God gives you the opportunity, but you have to pick that opportunity. So I didn't even know he was the boss anyway. So I was like, no, I've not been helped. We talked. They say, okay, let me get you someone. So and so, come. List all the books that we need, whatever. I left there with an order for 1 million. And this is, I've just started at this organization. Man, I was over
I'm just in, and these guys you say they're not coming through.
Yeah, so when I called my boss, I told her, so by the time they finish writing everything they need, process, the LPO has to be signed by like 5 or 6 people. So it was, I got there in the morning, and I left there at 5 when they were closing. But I felt I need to wait for this LPO. So I come, I have the LPO and it is signed. So I told my boss, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go back to the office. We were working up to 5. I'm going back to the office, and I want to process this order because I want it to go out tomorrow. She was like, it's from that organization. Those people are jokers. They will not, they will do that, they will not, the order will, they will not honor. But I'm like, I have all these people
signed.
They've already signed, and the top guy in that organization has also signed. So she told me, but you know what? You have my blessings. I worked up to midnight. I processed the LPO, went through the system and all the things that we are supposed to do. Then tomorrow morning, then she was like, okay, when you're done, get a new taxi. There were no bus that time. Get a taxi, then I'm gonna pay for it. I have paid for it. It was 500 was a lot of money
back then.
Back then for me to pay for it. So
despite having processed 1 million.
Yes. So I processed. I finished. I went home. The following morning, first person in the office, I was so excited.
You're the first person still.
Yes. And I went, we processed, we packed them in boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. Then we delivered and then got the check. I was like, oh man, God You are practical.
You are very practical.
And that became the story throughout, that it's not, sometimes you judge by how you see. So sometimes I look at you and I'm like, Steven can't buy, how much will he buy? Then God surprises you. God tells you, you go engage him, talk to him, and then you say, so I have a budget for 3 million. You're like, say what? Yeah, so we have so many testimonies of where God tells you, go to this place or call this person. Sometimes just that unction in your heart, and things work out. So for me, it will be the voice of God. So the place of prayer, being able to hear what God is saying. Then when that is done, you still have to work hard. Because God gave me the opportunity. He's not going to come and pack the books. He's not going to come and write the email or write the proposal.
You have to do it yourself.
That's your part. So that's sometimes a place where as Christians we are not very keen on. We want this God who does everything.
To do everything, that's true.
No, there is his part. So he gives you the opportunity, then there is your part where you have to do the work yourself. So I'm a hand worker.
Very true.
I have a book which is Confessions of a Recovering Workaholic, because now I've gone to the other side. But the place of handwork is very important. You're not going to be successful if you're not the most hardworking person, and the results will speak for you. Yes.
Interesting. In my book there, there's one thing I write, that everybody has rain, like the Lord will bring the rain.
Yes.
The going to the field and doing the digging, that's on you.
That's on you.
So if you don't dig, you don't get the food.
Yes.
So the ones who dig eventually get the food, which eventually then means that eating is not meant for those who are hungry. It's meant for those who went to the field and did the work.
That's true. Absolutely agree. And I think it's a message you have to preach to the young people. Very entitled generation. They want to do the least work, and they want to get the
for
best.
The most benefit.
For the most benefit. If the parts that I have or the benefits that I have with the position I have, they also come with responsibility. So you have to work hard if you want to get to the next level.
Very true. So, books. 4 books. Let's talk about those books.
So I started writing 2000, about 8 years back. So when I had a short stint as a single mom, story for another day, or a different podcast. So another episode. So I think about 3 or 4 years before now I met my husband, and so the first book was, I just wanted to share, I'm passionate about women and now a few men who are single parents. So it's called Back on My Feet, and it just documents my journey on how I got back on my feet and the lessons I can share, how to get to financial stability, emotional stability, how to care for your child, how to prepare for marriage or remarriage for those who were married before. So that was my first book. Then I have another book, Jesus Killed My Business.
That's a nice title. That's a very nice title.
Yes. So when I got married, in CLC, we had agreed with my husband, my Bible school friend. We had agreed that I will step aside from CLC and care for our family. So I did that in 2012, and we started homeschooling now my first daughter. And while I was doing that, because I like to do things, so I was like, wait a minute, this thing in finance and banking, maybe I should
apply it again.
No, not even apply, and I'm now beyond employment. I couldn't do that anymore.
I just do it yourself now.
Yes, so I started a business firm, a consultancy firm, in 2012. And it became very successful because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about accounts and numbers and maths, and then I have this ability to hear from God. So when I go to meet a person, I'm offering you the mathematics, the money side of the business, but I'm also giving you very credible consultancy because I'm asking God, what should I do?
Yeah, you already have a source now.
Yes. So it was working so well. I was like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna go back to where my husband was. Yeah, like there's money. What we do at CLC Kenya is non-profit, so money does not rain as such, but we are well provided for. But here is this business consultancy that is giving me a lot of money, and I'm becoming successful. I've not even advertised. I have clients who are waiting even 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to just meet me because they know I'm going to sort them.
Sort them out. You're like,
I'm not gonna go back.
I'm well in.
So I could see where the business firm was going, the consultancy was going. I was starting to hire more people for us to do this work. Then one day I hear the voice of God and he says, stop. I'm like, say what? I cannot stop.
Come up again.
He came up again and he's still saying, stop. So I was like, why have you blessed me so much in the business consultancy?
Yes, for me to stop.
Yeah, for me to stop. I felt I stopped at the height of when now things were really going very well. And God told me, I wanted you to see that you can make it in business, so that you don't have that thought of, what if I went to business? I come from a business family, so I just needed to continue that. And so when he said stop, of course I struggled with the instruction for about 8 months. Then I became very sick. Became so sick I couldn't go to the office. And eventually I was like, you know what?
Okay, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm out.
I'll just go. I closed my office, picked my furniture, whatever. I went back home and went back to join my husband to do the ministry work. But the things I thought I wanted to achieve with the business consultancy, God actually told me, I'm going to help you to achieve even with the ministry that you're doing. And he's been faithful. It's from, I came back to CLC in 2015 and he has been faithful. I wanted to travel, I wanted to do trainings for people. And
all of that has happened.
Yes, so it was like either you make money and do these things, or you come do these things and I provide the money. It's the same.
Yeah, it's same balance.
Yeah. So I am here. God provides through partnerships, through donations, through gifts, and we are able to do everything that I wanted to do.
Interesting.
Then my third book is what I've said, Too Busy for Worship, Confessions of a Recovering Workaholic, and just bringing the balance between the toil and work, because working hard we must work, because God is also a worker, but just that balance. Sometimes we go overboard because we are working for money. That is the lowest form of living, working for money, because we get it at the end of the month. Then by April 15, you
are done. Too much month at the end of the month.
So if you're working for money, that's the lowest form of living. You have to work for purpose.
That's true.
So when you discover your purpose, the money becomes like a benefit. So I have that book just speaking about even how I keep on backsliding to toiling, and how God keeps on
getting you back to balance.
To balance. And my final book is A Girl's Father. A girl's fathers. So saying a girl needs 5 fathers. The first one is a biological father, and what a girl should receive from that. And if you don't have a biological father, God makes provision for someone else in the society to become. And then after that, you need a professional father, someone who can be able to guide you. And I've had that with another boss I worked for, a man who can guide you, purest of relationships. I know the world is so skewed right now, but you can get a genuine person who really wants to see you through and help you advance in career. And then you need a spiritual father. So a pastor to to be able to encourage you in your spiritual walk and make sure that you're growing. And then you need a husband who should be a father, plays that role in a woman's life, and then ultimately God the Father. Yes.
So 5 fathers.
So 5 fathers for God. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good. So how has been the reception of the books?
So only 2 are out, and when I started writing, if you're writing, I don't know what has been your experience for this entrepreneurial journey. As you write, there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of how will people
how will they take it?
And then this is my life, this is my things, this is my writing, then you put it out there. So I struggled with that a lot. And that's why I was like, you know what, because I've struggled to get someone to push me to get the books out. So I took too long to write them, about 8 years. It should have been shorter. So based on that experience, now I run a mentorship, a writing mentorship class, so that when you come to write, now I'm the one to tell you, Stephen, you're doing well, and criticize the book internally to give you confidence to go out there. So I run that, but for my books, it took too long to get them done. So I've always had them, but then getting them out,
releasing them,
it's just like you're waiting for something. So I started in 2020. So I did the first book, the Back on My Feet, the How to for Single Parents. Then now last year we did Too Busy for Worship, and this year, so I just decided I would just do 1 book every year. So 2 are out, and the other
2 are coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I know writing is it can never be perfect. You know?
Yes.
Especially if you're a perfectionist, sometimes you don't start.
Yes.
You know, because like, if I start, new ideas also keep coming in every day. So you have to you have to balance, new ideas and old ideas and writing the process itself and finishing. So I'm a very big advocate of just finish. Do the first draft and get it done. With all the spelling mistakes but just get it done. That's usually my writing process. Then you can review that because that's already finished. But if you want to perfect it each and every chapter as you go.
Sometimes you're perfecting even in your head. So it's not even out. Like we are graduating our 4th or 5th class since 2020. So we are graduating them this month, end of this month. And the concept is, what is in your hand, I cannot help you with it. But this, I can help you with it.
I can really see.
So you have to get it out of your head or out of your heart, wherever it is that your book is. You have to get it out of inside of you, to a piece of paper or a computer. Then now other people can come and be able to see and help you. So if it has it needs editing, someone else can do that for you because it's tangible. We can see
it. They can see it.
But if it's in your hand, there's nothing we can do about it.
That's very true.
So that's the concept. Get it out of your head or mind or heart. Get it on a computer. Then now let's see, where do I need help? Then other people will come and help you.
That's very true.
Yes.
I agree because I've also done how many books now? 5 books.
Wow.
So this is my 5th, which is yet to be released. But yes, I've done 5. So 3 anthologies. I actually have 2 bestsellers as well. Amazon bestsellers. And then this one now.
Congratulations.
Alright, thanks for listening, and that's a wrap for this episode. For more exciting episodes like this, don't forget to follow our podcast, the AfroPrenuer Podcast, on all streaming sites, and visit our website at www.ogwenostephen.com. See you on the next one.